Good morning. I'm in my backyard. You ready? Isn't it beautiful? We're gonna keep turning, okay? This is part of what happened yesterday. So there was a tree right here, and it's grown into the fence. The tree and the ivy are grown into the fence. So in order to take the fence out for replacing it, they had to cut the tree down. Well, I had been gone most of the day, and I had to go to Costco, and I'll get back to all that. But anyway, I got home, and they're out here cutting it. See how it's grown into the fence? I pulled in the front yard off the driveway, watching. As he was cutting this, I was like, that's gonna hit my house. There's a guy back here with a rope pulling it, but this is going away anyway. He better be glad it didn't hit my bird bath, or he'd be replacing that too. But look at that big old, that's where my blueberries are planted. My little decorative ladder that belonged to my dad is tipped over and all the stuff fell off of it. I don't know if it's broken because I can't get to it. To say that I was not happy, I didn't show myself. I didn't. I got out of the car and he said, I'm gonna have to replace your gutter. I said, okay. Hold on. Good morning. What y'all looking at? Good morning, Daisy and Pete. Y'all are being good. Anyway, I just kept standing there thinking, how did you not know? Because I could see that from the front yard, that it was gonna hit the house. How did you not know? Gracie was outside yesterday morning, right? She loves to go outside and lay. And I'm all over the house looking for her, and I couldn't find her. So I go outside, and she's laying right up against the house where she always lays. She lays where the dryer vent is, because you know cats love heat. Whew, almost fell out the door. Whew. So I went out there and found her. And for just a brief second, I was like, well, at this point, I was just running to the office and to Publix. I'll leave her outside. And then something deep within me said, don't leave her outside. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't. That tree, it wouldn't have hit her because she would have went and hid somewhere. But the problem is, where would she have went and hid? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It might have scared her gone. But anyway, I'll be back. I got to fix my coffee. But that's how yesterday went in a little nutshell, but I got more to tell. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I've had my coffee. I've had my breakfast. I come out to walk the dogs, and Dixie is somewhere right there on the edge, and she was watching me walk down the driveway like, I don't see a bag in your hand. I don't see you about to shake a bag. Where's my food? I said, look at here. I gotta walk the dogs first. I'll be back to you in a minute, okay? I have a lot that I have to get done in the mornings, walking dogs and things. So you're just gonna have to wait your turn. Had to chase Penny all over the living room because she didn't want to get her harness put on. She's terrified of her harness. Yet she loves to go for a walk, but she's terrified of getting the harness on. Go figure. Okay, so it started out like any other day. Well, it did not start out like any other day. That was a lie from the devil. I woke up at 4 o'clock and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I finally got up at 5:15 because I can't lay in bed. Like, once I'm awake, that's it. I have to get up because then I realize the longer I lay here, the more my back's gonna hurt. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wake up and it's not hurting. But if I lay there for a while, yeah, I'm like, nope, time to get up. So I got up at 5:15 to start my day. Well, I had to run to Costco. I needed a couple of things. I needed to pick up a couple of things for work. So I thought, well, I'll run in there. Mistakenly thought it was gonna be a quick trip. Now, was nothing quick about going to Costco, I can assure you. Hold on just one moment. All right, so I took a quick jaunt into Costco, thinking it would just be run in, grab the things, run out. And then I was gonna go to Home Depot and get dirt. And then I was gonna go to Sprouts and get my bread. Well, might we first talk about the large buggies, shopping carts, trolleys, if you will, that Costco has. The people in England who call them trolleys might not know what a Costco is, but it's a wholesale distributor, I don't know. You know, instead of getting a bag of cauliflower, I bought a giant bag that's got like 6 separate bags in it. It's like 4 pounds of cauliflower. I'm gonna be eating a lot of cauliflower. You buy in bulk there. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You buy in bulk. So anyway, I'm pushing the buggy which I feel like a 2-year-old pushing the buggy because it's way up here. It's huge. I mean, you usually buy a lot when you go to Costco. So you can get one of those, or you can get one of those dolly things, right? Well, I didn't need a dolly. I just needed a buggy, but I needed a small buggy because I wasn't planning on buying that much. But I did have to buy a case of water, 2 little cases of Gatorade. I bought a case of those mini Cokes, giant box of trash bags. Anyway, you know, stuff. So I had quite a bit of stuff in the bottom, and then my stuff was going in the top because I was, you know, I had to pay separately. Well, I finally get done with there. I think I was in there for about 2 hours because I don't go in there that often to know where everything is. So I had to walk up and down every aisle and look at everything. I am trying to talk here, sheesh. Well, by the time I got done with Costco, Tracy was getting hungry because I had eaten breakfast at 5:30 and it's after 12 at this point. So yeah, my stomach was like, you better feed me, and you better feed me soon. So I ran and got me something to eat, and I came home to eat. Now, did I unload my stuff from Costco? My stuff, which was frozen blueberries and frozen cauliflower and a book that I really needed on gardening and, you know, stuff that I needed. There's mockingbirds in that tree. I don't want them to attack me. The chicken is now at the school bus with the children. I guess it wants to go to school with them. So I came home and ate. Come on, don't you pee on that car. That's a nice car. We don't pee on. That's the car he wants to pee on. No, I don't let my dogs pee on cars if I can at all help it. My dog's Charlie. Let's face it, it's a boy thing. Anyway, I came home and ate. Forgot to unload my stuff. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna run this by the office and then run to Publix and come back home, right? I had a great plan. So I ran to the office. It didn't take too long. It wasn't bad. I went in yelling, do I have any beefy men in here to unload this? And the new owner of the company was like, well, I guess I can do it. I said, well, I just don't want to do it because I've already had to put it in the car. But you know, picking it up out of the shopping cart, buggy trolley, and putting it in the car is a whole lot different than parking, taking it out, and walking it all the way in and down the hall. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do all that. So anyway, he came out there and unloaded my car. Well, then I was going to run in Publix because I needed garlic salt and pepperoni for my video. Oh, and my pizza sauce, because I didn't want to buy enough pizza sauce at Costco to make 82 pizzas. I just needed enough to make, I don't know, I can still probably make 40 out of this little jar of pizza sauce. But anyway, I ran in Publix and I ran into someone who I used to work with at the sheriff's office. And that's Dixie. We're not gonna go after Dixie, okay? She's already over here. She's waiting. I gotta feed her. Joan's gonna be mad at me because now she's in her driveway. Anyway, I ran into somebody I used to work with at the sheriff's office, and we stood and talked for at least a half an hour. And it was really good catching up with her, you know? But I just kept thinking, all I want to do is go home. All I want to do is go home. I've been gone all day, and I haven't done anything. Well, then I come home. I pull in to see the man with the chainsaw trying to cut the tree down. And I sat parked right here in my front yard watching, and I just kept thinking, that's gonna hit the house. It was a big tall tree. It wasn't, you know, it was a skinny tree, but it had 2 big branches that, well, I think it was probably 2 trees to begin with, right there. But yeah, I just sat there watching in horror as it fell, knowing what had just happened. Yep, I knew it. All right, I'll be back. I'm glad I'm leaving the house and going to work today because the power just went out. So I wouldn't have been able to work from home, which means my boss is probably not going to be able to work from home. So she might come in. But anyway, another thing about yesterday is when I went to Costco, there was like nobody in line to get gas. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to go ahead and get gas here. I've never gotten gas at Costco. So I pull up. I didn't know what to do. I stuck my card in, my Costco card in, and pulled it back out. And it told me there was an error. And then, like, I was trying to scan it in all these different places and nothing was working. So then I go ask this older gentleman that's pumping gas in front of me, and he comes back to help me, and it didn't work for him. Well, then this Costco worker came up. He was so loud. And he was like, you having a problem? I was like, yeah. I said, I can't get this to work. He comes over there, slides it in, pulls it out. It worked. I was like, Really? Oh, and in yesterday's video, when you saw my mouth moving but you didn't hear anything, I was telling this story yesterday while I was making the pizza, but the video was getting way too long, so I cut it all out, but I couldn't cut out that part, so I just muted it. So yeah, that's what you see my mouth moving about, because I was talking about all this, and I was like, no, save it for another video. Yeah. Now I'm at work. My keyboard's dead, but that's fine. It's charging. And I get a call. Well, I get a text from my neighbor who says there's police cars all up and down my road. And then I find out from another friend who's at work that there's a manhunt going on in my neighborhood for somebody that was involved in a hit and run. So I call my dad, and I call my boss, and I call my neighbor, and I'm like, stay inside, lock your doors, protect your children, do all the things. You know what my dad says? I'm going to sit outside with my gun and watch for him. You're not a cop anymore. Well, you're always, once a cop, always a cop, but he's going to sit outside and wait for him, watch for him. Get in the house. Get in the house. Anyway, that's how today's starting. It's 8:30. What an exciting life I live. I don't think I can take much more of this excitement. Okay, bye. I'll be back. It's the end of the day. I'm home. There's a garbage truck out front that may or may not cause my dogs to bark. Anyway, first to the power going out. The power went out because of the man involved in the hit and run. He hit the power pole. I don't know if there was another car involved in that wreck or if he just hit the power pole. Either way, he took off running and the police chased him. There was a whole thing in the neighborhood. Police cars everywhere, canine dogs everywhere, searching for the man in black. He was wearing all black, yeah. It's good to have friends in law enforcement. Yeah. I got a call from a friend who just so happened to be working who said, lock your doors, stay locked and loaded. I said, well, I'm at the office, but why? And he told me what was going on, and I was like, oh, well, then I need to let my neighbors know that they need to lock the doors and all that stuff. Well, anyway, long story short, the man was found. He was across the highway, so he had made it through the neighborhood and across the road, and they finally found him. But I was told that there was police cars in the neighborhood, for several hours. So who knows what was going on with that. But anyway, that was that exciting news. And then when I got home, just to give you an update, my ladder under the tree is fine. They had stood it back up when they came today. I'm sorry, my nose is itching. But they stood it back up when they came today, and I put all the stuff back on it, and none of that was broken. A miracle. There was only one branch on my blueberry bush that was broken. There's still a couple of huge logs in the backyard, but all the rest of that brush has been cleaned up. So that's good. Other than that, it was a pretty good day at work. Yeah. We continued to hear sirens going up and down the road, and then on my way home, I kept hearing them, and then I called my dad, and he's heard them all day. So I don't know if it's the rain or just, the normal craziness that goes on now in this world. Either way, there was a lot of sirens today. It was kind of unnerving. There was so many sirens. Actually, the first part of this video, when I'm standing out back showing you the tree that had fallen, was chopped down, and you hear the sirens, that's the sirens going to the guy that hit the phone pole or the electric pole. Yeah, that's where they were going. That's why they were so close, because it was just right here. Just right here on the road. Excitement abounds. But I think I'm about to go thaw out some hamburger meat, and I'm going to have me a hamburger. Because one other thing that I bought at the Costco yesterday was they had some vinegar, what do you call them? Vinegar chips. I forgot what they're called. Salt and vinegar chips. Anyway, potato chips with vinegar on them. They're so good. They're so good. Anyway, that's enough for the excitement that I've encountered for the last 24 plus hours. Actually, it's more like 36 hours by now, but anyway, craziness. Oh, and then I read a story about this police officer. Well, she was a detention officer in Fulton County. which is Atlanta's county seat. And she had been arrested because she was falsifying her time card, her timesheets. So I don't know if they have a swipe. It doesn't sound like it. We had a Chronos system where you swiped a card and it clocked you in, and then you swiped a card and it clocked you out. If they don't have that, I don't know why. But instead of making $50,000 last year, she made $130,000 last year, and she is basically a deputy. And they said there was no way that she could have worked enough overtime to make that much. So I don't know how they found out about it. I think they were just checking everybody's money, or pay parity. Is that the right word? Anyway, they were checking on all that, and they saw that she had made $130,000, which is way more than a deputy should be making, especially one as young as her who hadn't been there, for 42 years. But anyway, she was arrested for fraud and theft. And yeah, I mean, when you falsify your time card, or if you just go to work and clock in and don't work all day, that's still stealing. It's all stealing. But anyway, she called in sick. What was so funny about the news article, it said that her sergeant said that she called in sick all the time, stating that her husband was ill and that she had to stay home with him. And one of the days she called in sick, she put on her timesheet that she had worked 17 hours. I was like, now, you know what? You could have probably, not that I would ever do this because I'm not a thief. I am too honest when it comes to stuff like that. But if you just cushioned it a little, you probably wouldn't have been caught. But you got greedy, and they got you. And you deserve to go to jail. I'm sorry, but you deserve to go to jail, ma'am. Anyway, that's all I got. I love you. Jesus loves you. Hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. You say bye first. Okay, bye.